my treasured viewers, my inestimable students, my treasured audience, all lovers of English language, I welcome you back to the studios of Alfonso de Rothschild's tutorials. Remember that if you are a lover of the English language as a second tongue for Nigerian citizens and the citizens of ECOWAS and the African Union, you are at the right place at the moment, because this channel is dedicated to helping all of us who speak English or who endeavor to speak English, who grapple with the technicalities involved in communicating effectively in English language. This channel has been put into place to help all of us improve gradually according to our individual abilities. Welcome back to our channel. Remember that if you like what is going on here, you can encourage us to do more by liking our videos and sharing these videos so that it can get to others who are not as opportune as all of us to be present at the delivery of this lecture. Again, you can subscribe to this channel. I advise you to do so, as doing so will make it possible for our videos to be delivered straight into your inbox. That way, we will keep you abreast of the developments going on this channel, and this is continuous. Thank you very much. On our immediate past video, we talked about the past progressive tense, as we talked about the future progressive tense, which you can also refer to as the future continuous tense. And on this video, we are still concretizing on our discussion on the future tenses. So, at the moment, our topic is the future perfect tense. The future perfect tense. Going by what I have said on our previous videos on tenses, the perfect tense connotes a situation of completeness. So in English grammar, an action is perfect if it has been completed, but completing an action is not the same as ending the action. So an action that has been completed or an action that is perfect can still be progressive or continuous. That is why we can talk about the present perfect progressive and the past perfect progressive and the future perfect progressive. I will follow you. And on our today's video, we are talking about the future perfect tense. What does it tell us? It talks about an action which a speaker believes we have or shall have been completed at or before or during a given time in the future. An action a speaker or a user of English believes that in his opinion or her opinion will have been completed or shall have been completed within a given framework of time in the future, or during a given framework of time, or at a given time in the future. Let us see what this tense looks like. The tense is conjugated, much like other tenses in the future. We begin with the modal verb shall or will, together with have and a past participle. The past participle is the lexical part of the verb, lexical, or we say it is the main part of the verb, implying it is a part of the verb that expresses the action of the sentence. The others, shall or will, and have, are the auxiliary parts. I'd like to give us an example. I'd like to suggest that it is necessary, it is germane, it is incumbent on you, the first time viewer, to go back and watch our video on tenses from the simple present tense down to our immediate last video, which is on the future progressive tense, as this is a follow-up to the other videos. Of course, that does not prevent you from watching this at the moment and also going back later to catch up with those ones that you missed. Now let's take a look at this sentence. It says, Serena thinks that by the next summer, the strawberries will have ripened. When? By the next summer. That is the time frame. Serena believes that a certain action will have been completed, and that refers to the ripening of the strawberries. So we have the verb will and have, and the past participle ripened. We have ripened. Future perfect tense. Serena thinks that by the next summer, the strawberries will have ripened. All right, let us continue. In our example 2, we will explore the possibility of combining the future perfect tense and the future progressive tense, which we discussed in our previous video, in our immediate previous video, and this is quite possible, and that is in fact the way we should be encouraged to speak. You talk about an action that we have been completed at a given time in the future, and you talk about what is next after that, both combined in the same sentence. Let us take a look at number 2. Now take a look at the sentence. It says, by this time next year, and that is the adverbial. It tells us the time frame in the future when a given action is to have been completed. It says, by this time next year, Arnold, we have graduated. Arnold, we have graduated from high school. He will be thinking of what next to do. You see, this part, he will be joined to the first sentence with the semicolon. The semicolon functions as a conjunction. This part is future progressive tense. That is, will be thinking. This is the contracted form of will. The contraction of will. It says, he will be thinking of what next to do. That is, he will have completed high school, or he will have graduated from high school by this time next year. Then he will be thinking of what next to do. He will be thinking future progressive. He will have graduated, future perfect tense. Do you have any question or observation? I am sure that you do. Please drop it on the comment section. Tell me your impression of our videos. Tell me what you think we can do to improve our channel. Tell me what topic in English language you have the most deficiency and which you think we can discuss here so that both you and others like you can benefit from it. You can also send me an email at alfonso.therothschild@gmail.com, or you can chat me up on WhatsApp using the number 091 333 01790. I look forward to hearing from you. Meanwhile, remember to like and share this video and subscribe to our channel. Let us continue. So we can now talk about example 3. It says, I shall have arrived at the cinema house to see a movie by forenoon. Says, I shall have arrived at the cinema house to see a movie by forenoon tomorrow. I shall have arrived. When? By forenoon. By forenoon tomorrow is a time expression. It is the adverbial, in this case an adverbial phrase of time, telling us what time in the future I believe this action shall have been completed. Visit our last video and the other videos on the future tenses so that you will understand why only I can be used with shall, only we can be used with shall, but the rest, including I and we, only go with will. Number 4. It says, we shall have watched the Wimbledon opening match before 7 o'clock in the evening. When? Before 7 o'clock in the evening. That is the adverbial. The action is shall have watched. The speaker believed that they will have watched the Wimbledon opening match before 7 o'clock in the evening. It is an action that we have been done before that time. So number 5 says, Mike will have won his maiden Super Bowl medal on Saturday evening. Mike will have won his Super Bowl medal on Saturday evening. When? On Saturday evening. That's when the time in the future that the speaker believes that Michael or Mike will have won his Super Bowl medal. That's will have won his Super Bowl medal. So number 6 says, the closing match of the US Open will have been concluded. The closing match of the US Super Bowl or the US Open will have been concluded before sundown on Sunday. Is there a difference between the verb in sentence 6 and the others? Yes. The difference is that the sentence is in the passive voice. If you are a student of English grammar, you should understand what the passive voice is in contradistinction with the active voice. Will have been concluded will become the US Open match will have taken place if we make the same sentence in the active voice. We can say something like, they will have concluded. They will have concluded the US Open. But here we say the US Open will have been concluded before sundown on Sunday. Now, just as it was in the other videos we've had, we will learn how to make sentences in this tense in the positive, that is, in the affirmative, that is making positive or affirmative sentences, which are declarative sentences. Then we will learn how to rewrite this in the negative and later on in the interrogative. And again in the negative interrogative. Let us take a look. Here, let's talk about the negative. And using one of the sentences we have here, taking number 3 for instance, it says, I shall have arrived. Then we will negate by bringing the verb before the subject. The subject is I, the verb is shall have arrived. Then we bring the modal verb shall by saying I shall not, that we add not to shall to make it negative. Or we use the contraction, which is shan't. I shall not or I shan't have, or I shan't have arrived early at the cinema house, at the cinema house. It says, I shall not have arrived at the cinema house to see a movie by forenoon tomorrow. I shall not or I shan't have arrived at the cinema house to see a movie by forenoon tomorrow. Let us take another example, still using some of the sentences that we have here. We shall have watched. Then we say, we shan't. We shan't have watched is the same as we shall not have watched. We shan't have watched the Wimbledon Guys, we shan't have watched the Wimbledon opening match before 7 o'clock in the evening. Or we shall not have watched. I hope we understand this. And then the third one, Mike will have won his maiden Super Bowl medal. We say, Mike will not have. We say Mike will not or Mike won't. We use the contraction won't. Mike will not or Mike won't have won his maiden Super Bowl medal on Saturday. Guys, on Saturday evening. Mike will not have won his maiden Super Bowl medal on Saturday evening. And so these three sentences exemplifies how the future perfect tense can be written in a negative. Then next we shall be talking about interrogative sentences. Interrogative sentences. Using one of the sentences we have here to begin, it says the closing match of the US Open will have been concluded before sundown on Sunday. How do we start? We'll begin with the question word, that's with the verb will. So we now ask will, we put will, and then the subject, which is a noun phrase, the closing match of the US Open will follow. So the question we read, will there closing match it is a question. It says, will the closing match of the US Open have been concluded before sundown on Sunday? The speaker is asking whether it will have been concluded before a certain time on Sunday. Now we can also make this interrogative negative. That is a negative question. Then we will say won't, will become will not. Written as a contraction, we say won't the concluding won't the US Open have been concluded before sundown on Sunday? We finish with a question mark. Won't the US Open have been concluded before sundown on Sunday? Let us take a second example of this. Let us take the sentence. Will Bassi have returned it says, will Bassi have returned? Will Bassi have returned the delivery van before bedtime? Will Bassi have returned the delivery van before bedtime? Then we will rewrite this using the negative question. That is, won't Bassi says, won't Bessie have returned the delivery van before bedtime? Won't Bessie have returned the delivery van before bedtime? Example 3. It says, will Madame de Francois have spoken to the king tomorrow? The speaker is asking whether Madame de Francois will have spoken, you have spoken to the king by tomorrow. Then the negative question. It says, won't Madame the Francois have spoken to the king tomorrow? So this is how it has been, my admirable viewers. Remember that I am happy every time knowing that you are there as a part of my audience. I thank you for your commitment, for your devotion to Alfonso, the Rostyle tutorials. With you, dear, I am sure that we will reach our goal and go beyond it very soon. Thank you for being there. Remember, like I have said earlier on, like and share this video and subscribe to this channel. If you have a question to ask me, an observation, a suggestion, put it down on the comment section and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. For now, I'd like to invite you to my next video. That will be the concluding part of the future tenses, because then we'll be talking about the future perfect progressive tense or the future perfect or continuous tense. Don't miss that video, and please invite your friends to join us on that video. You will not regret you did. As I look forward to seeing you, take care of yourself and thanks immensely for being